How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome to Consciously Speaking Podcast, where every voice finds its space. I'm your host, Pat B.
And it's your boy, M. Nash.
Hello.
Hello.
But yeah, with this podcast, we want to make sure all perspectives are heard. Give you a time to be vulnerable, a time to be yourself, a time not to be judged. You know what I'm saying? How you feel?
I feel good. I feel great. I feel excellent. How about you?
Hey, I'm feeling lovely.
Hello.
You feel me?
Let's do it.
Today, the topic, post-grad depression.
Ooh. Hey, let's talk about it.
I think it's something we all went through.
Of course.
Did you go through it?
I definitely did. But I think a lot of people don't keep it real on their post-grad depression. Y'all be on the ground flexing, man. It's real, though. And we're going to talk about that.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay.
And I definitely feel like it's hard, especially going to a HBCU like us and being the man and then going back to your hometown, back into the world where it's like refinding yourself.
Nah, for real. You know
what I'm saying?
Because real life going to slap your ass right in the face.
So we're going to turn around. We're going to go back to the beginning. How did you even get to school? How did you get to college?
Man. I sit and think about that shit all the time because,
for real.
Man, in high school, I wouldn't even think about college. I was thinking about the military, to be honest. Like, I graduated.
The military?
Bro, everybody's asking, what you gonna do after high school? What you gonna do after high school? I was like, I'm going to the military.
So, were you serious?
I was at one point. In my head, I was serious. You feel me? Like, because I wasn't thinking about school, because I was thinking about school. Like, I wasn't really thinking about college. Like, that wasn't in the forefront of my plans. The military was.
So, what made you transition to college?
Man, I was walking in the hallway, like, one day in my senior year, my guidance counselor was like, what you gonna do after you graduate? And I was like, I'm gonna go to the military. She's like, military? Nah, I got something better for you to do. I'm like, oh, what's that? She's like, come to my office tomorrow at 12 p.m. during your lunchtime. So I went to office the next day at 12 p.m. And she's like, I got a school I want you to apply for. Mind you, I ain't do no college applications to no universities. Texas Southern was the only college I ever applied for. Well, I didn't apply for it. My guidance counselor actually assisted me and applied for me. And I graduated 1.9 GPA high school, and Texas Southern accepted me, and then I went from there.
We kind of in the same
boat. I only applied to one school that was TSU. You know what I'm saying?
So with me, I didn't find my GPA out until my senior year.
For real?
Yeah, I just knew, hey, if you make a C, then you can get over. But I was more so a B student. But my parents weren't really hard on me if I did make a C because obviously it was a struggle somewhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So. Like I said, I didn't find my GPA out till my senior year when it was time to apply. I actually didn't plan on going to college either. I applied to go to culinary school in Dallas.
Oh, you wanted to cook? My boy wanted to be a chef.
I wanted to cook. Couldn't play sports growing up. They kind of felt like the coaches at a young age kind of took the fun out of it.
Right.
So I got into sports later on in life. And then when it was time to go, it was like, what you gonna do? I was like, get a scholarship or I can't afford to go to college.
Right.
So I'm going to go to culinary school.
No, for real.
So what I did was I started sending my tape out everywhere. Nobody
like
responded.
Tape of cooking?
No, my tape from football.
Oh, I thought you were talking about tape.
No. My tape from football. So I'm sending that out. Nobody reaching back. One school reached back, Grandview University. They reached back, told me they could give me a scholarship.
Right.
So from then, I visited and I'm like, this is my only option.
Right.
This it. Is it this or culinary? And I liked the football. I wasn't super passionate about it, but it was like it could get me to college.
Right.
So that's how I wound up going to college. Now that journey was I didn't like Iowa at all. I didn't like Iowa. It got cold October. It wasn't a lot of my people.
Yeah, facts. Especially you up there. Come on, man.
Yeah, especially up there. And I feel like I didn't really have any guidance.
Right.
Like, I didn't really know what college was. It was just like a young dude from Dallas then went up here trying to play football. And then once I made up in my mind I wanted to transfer, I redshirted.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, bet I'm a transfer. And, I wind up transferring to Texas Southern. My aunt went there. My brother was there at the time. And, that's how I got to TSU.
Right.
So now I want to ask you, when you first stepped on campus at HBCU, what was that like?
Hey, man. That's why I attended TSU. About the book, I was like,
okay.
oh, this what we doing.
Yeah.
This what we doing. Hello. Nah, for real. But when I stepped on TSU campus, like, that was the only school I ever toured. Like, I didn't know what any other schools looked like. I didn't know what a college campus looked like. I never went to a college campus in high school. Like, it was just different high schools I transferred to and went back to DeSoto, and a lot of high schools I went to, but I never went to a college campus. So when I applied to TSU and they accepted me, my mama drove me down there. My pops drove me down there one time. My mom drove me down there one time. And it was the freshman orientation where they used to let you sleep over sleep over the night. When President Lane was there.
Shout out to Lane.
Yeah, shout out to Lane. They let us sleep over that night to stay a full night on campus when we was like gonna graduate. And man, I stayed on TSU campus for one night, and I was like, yeah, this is where I'm coming next week. This where I see my next 4 years at.
Okay, so that's what sold you.
So what sold?
Okay.
Yeah, hello.
Okay. So with me, like I said, my aunt went there. My brother was there currently with one of my best friends, Corbin. Shout out to Corbin.
My boy Brad.
I had made the decision probably 2 months into my freshman year in Iowa. So I used to FaceTime them. They having fun. They going to hump days. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, this the move. And then he was on the football team. I was like, okay, I can transfer and try to, walk on. Unfortunately, I didn't try to walk on once I got up there, but unfortunately, my brother wasn't there when I did transfer. But Corbin was there.
Right.
So my first experience on campus was, I'm shy. Like, so they had like an orientation, and he was already involved. He was in University Program Council, UPC. Anybody, go to Texas Southern, they know what UPC is. So he was in UPC. He had a position. I think he was like social co-chair or something like that. And he told me to meet him at the auditorium.
Right.
So I get to the auditorium. I'm sitting at the top, right? He like, come down to the bottom. That's where the president is. That's who, bro, I stand up there for 2 hours. Like, bro, I stand up there for 2 hours waiting on him to come back up because I ain't know nobody. And you know how the auditorium is. Like, I ain't want to walk down them halls. I feel like everybody watching me and things like that. Like, even when I was going to school, if I leave my headphones, I'm walking all the way back to my dorm to get my headphones to go to class.
Them all just gonna be in there.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like I had to get comfortable, but with time, once you start meeting people, knowing your way around, then I was more comfortable because a lot of people be like, nah, you ain't shy.
Right.
But I really am. Like even with like my career now, it's like I get nervous every time I do a boot camp.
Right.
So like, but yeah, that was my first experience, at Texas Southern, at school. So during your journey at the university, what was that like?
Man, I really wish I could have had a YouTube channel, a Netflix show.
Man, say
I really wish I could have did some. I really wish I knew about this streaming stuff because I would have been.
It was a movie,
man.
It was.
I don't even know where to start, man.
It was a movie, man.
See, I wasn't shy. I was putting that shit on. I was walking around there.
Yeah.
I'm walking around with that shit on. I'm trying to see where them things at.
And that's the thing. That's the thing about it. It was like, for some reason, everybody else didn't feel like I was shy, but in the inside, I was just like.
In the inside, shy. but you really was turned though. When I got there, when I met you, you was turned.
That's what I'm saying. But I was really like nervous. Like even when it came to, running for positions and public speaking and things like that, I was just like, I can't do this.
Man.
But it was like, you got to do this.
Right.
So I had to, kind of, break out of that shell and do what I had to do. And, I feel like it definitely set me up well in life as far as like communication skills, leadership, things like that. But I was nervous.
I was definitely nervous too. Like when running for position, that's the only time I really got nervous.
Yeah.
Shit. Like when it's go time, it's just go time. Like when it's time to get there and speak, you just got to speak.
So incoming freshman like me, or a sophomore, going to a university like that that's not necessarily you got to politic with, but you have to, maneuver around and communicate with individuals. What advice would you give someone that's kind of, introvert, not really social, but kind of want to get involved? Like, what advice would you give them?
Find an interest. It's multiple campus organizations, so I would definitely say go around the student center. Like, it's the board in the middle of the student center, wherever that is on campus for you.
Mm-hmm.
Find where your campus organization's at and find your interest. See what they doing. See what type of community service events they putting on. See what kind of events they throwing on campus. Just to go out and meet people. Not that you want to join the organization, but just simply go out and meet people that has the same interests as you, that's involved. And that way you can make friends, and then that's in the right place for you, because obviously they in leadership roles, they in leadership positions, they in leadership organizations. So you aligning yourself with like-minded individuals. That's what you want to do when you get to college. You want to align yourself with people that's going in the right direction, because going to college is the next step of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And every step of your life, you want to progress. You want to elevate. You want to evolve your mind and your exposure so that you can see and do better things than you was doing in that last chapter of your life. So that's my best advice to anybody that's in college. Go to college and find a group of friends or people that like to do what you want to do,
mm-hmm.
and stick beside them.
Yes, absolutely.
See what they doing and see if it aligns with your goals, and y'all just push each other to become the best version of yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's honestly what I got to say, because that's honestly how I got to where I'm at. Like, when I got to campus, I'm from Dallas, so I came grilled, chained, tatted.
Yeah,
I was all over the place with that shit on, but I didn't know how to put a suit on. I didn't know how to tie a tie. I didn't know how to speak in public, like in front of a large group of people. Like, I was nervous. But when I got an SJ and I run for Mr. Freshman, that was my first position on campus was Mr. Freshman.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got in that position, that's when I met Cody on. That's when I met Malik. That's when I met Nia. That's when I met all those people.
That you're still around now.
That I'm still around now. But also, those are people that helped mold my mind into the type of person I am today, because we had like interests.
Yeah. So let me ask you something. Did you change?
Change how?
Did you change as a person?
I did a whole 360.
Did a whole 360? Okay.
Not changing my friends in a sense, because I still tapped in with everybody, but I changed as far as my thought process.
Yeah. And the reason why I asked you that, because, like you said, I met you your freshman year.
Right.
And we had a picture, and we're gonna put that up.
Nah,
we had
facts.
a picture when we first met. Well, not necessarily when we first met, but like, first coming into TSU, and you definitely was a totally different person.
Facts.
Like, it was
yeah.
You did a whole 360. Just to even like, we from Dallas, so
right.
The swag is always there.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we always gonna put it on, but like, even the transition of how we dressed was different. Like, I remember going to TSU. At one point I had a ducktail. At one point I had a Gumby. I'm going to class with tank tops and flip flops on. You feel me? But then it was like, you can't keep doing this. And like you said, I didn't know how to tie a tie either. I got on YouTube and I learned how to do 4-5 different knots.
Like you said, you got on YouTube and learned them 4 different knots. Mm-hmm. But like, in high school, you wasn't worried about tying no ties. So when you got to college, that was the next step of your life. And you seen people with ties on, so that exposed your mind to ties. So you took it upon yourself to go and learn how to go on YouTube and tie 4 different knots. See, that expanded your exposure based off you just being around that environment. And that's what I'm telling people. When you go to college, man, get out. Get out and see people that's doing things that you're not doing. So you can get that exposure and expand your mind, expand your thought process, and expand your presentation. You feel me? So that's what it's all about.
And Freddie T got a saying he always say, exposure leads to expansion. And I think, going to an illustrious HBCU exposes us and also expand us in a sense when it comes to like what we just talked about, how you dress, how you carry yourself, communication skills, leadership skills, especially when you get in an organization.
Facts.
And just wanting to stay on top of your things, because to run for these positions, we got requirements. And when those requirements are not met, now you're embarrassed.
No, for real.
So it's like it holds you accountable as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that was definitely a great thing to kind of get involved in when you went to school. It was a couple of individuals that, I was friends with that wasn't involved, but for the most part, I would say probably like 90% of my friends was involved or on the same path or route that I was on. What about you?
Right, I say the same. Man, they got you far to where you at today. Like, you doing great things.
Yeah.
So college definitely prepared you for what you want to do. It taught you some life skills. So what kind of advice would you give to a freshman or a sophomore that's looking to get involved?
I hate when we tell freshmen to seek a mentor.
Right.
Because I feel like seeking a mentor is solely based on what they have or what they achieved or what they can do for you.
Right.
Rather than a natural mentor that is probably not involved or not as prestigious as this individual, but he went through what you went through.
Right.
So I would say find relatable people that have the same goal in mind.
Right.
As a freshman. And then once you do that, once you pick your crowd, then your mentor kind of comes. Or you'll have an individual who see something in you like a couple individuals saw in me, and it'll naturally become a mentorship, you know? Because I've, while I was at school, a couple people reached out to me and it was like, can you be my mentor?
Right.
And it was like, I mean, what
am I mentoring you?
What am I mentoring you from? Like, what exactly do you want to do? I don't necessarily feel like you have to want to be in the same field, but we got to have some type of
interest.
Some type of connection. Like I don't know you, you don't know me, and then you just ask me to be your mentor because you see that I'm involved.
Right. So
I would definitely suggest staying away from that. But I would say enjoy it, but take advantage of the things that they're offering you. Like, for example, career fairs.
So I got my job today. Hello.
See what I'm saying? Like, I didn't do that till I was a senior, till it was too late, till I'm, you updating your resume, and now you going out here reaching out to this lady who, been here all 4 years that you was here.
Right.
Never heard from you, never anything. And now you want her to kind of do you a solid, do you a favor. But it's this freshman, sophomore who been coming to her, been going to career fairs, been had a LinkedIn, been taking steps to,
right.
Connecting and networking, and now it's time for you to exit. You want a freebie.
Right.
So I would definitely say build those connections, those long-term connections that you're gonna need when you graduate, rather than those connections that don't go further than campus. And those connections are most of the time social connections.
Not facts.
Status.
Right.
What you can do for me now, but after I graduate and I'm not president, I can't do nothing for you.
Right.
But the lady over the career fair can put you in a position where you eating for the rest of your life. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the advice I would give.
And that's kind of how my life came about. Like, all through high school, middle school, my intentions were in the wrong place. Not knowing that they were in the wrong place. That was just my environment every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I woke up and seen. That's what I woke up and did. That's what everybody around me was doing. Mm-hmm. So whatever I was doing during those 24 hours each day, that was what my environment was doing. Yeah. So once I got to college and I realized it was more to life, and I seen individuals come from across the world and they carrying themselves different. They doing different things. They aspirations are different. When I'm conversating with these people, I'm getting different dialogue. I'm like, damn, they doing this, they doing that. Why I never thought of this? Why can't I do this? Yeah. In reality, I can do it. I wasn't exposed to that. So that's kind of how my transition, when you ask how I changed, that's kind of how I changed based on my new environment. I was able to adapt. I was able to see other people around me doing those things that I never saw. Yeah. And that inspired me. That what put that battery pack up in my back and was like, I need to get on it. I need to get charged up. So shit, when I got there and I seen it, I was like, this how they doing it? Oh, I definitely can do this. Oh, my energy.
He doing it?
Yeah.
What? Him?
What? Yeah, I'm here.
Turn me in his motivation.
And that's his motivation. It's no hate.
When it's no hate when it's like him.
But it's inspiration. You know what I'm saying?
If he can do it, I know I can do it because I got it in me.
It's already in me. It ain't on me. It's in me. And like, I went 4-0 at TSU. I ain't never took a loss. Hello. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely in me. It ain't on me. But it just go to show, like, when you lacking that exposure, it's just like you limiting yourself. Yeah. You put limitations on yourself. And that goes for the whole college experience. Like, half of the stuff I did in college, I didn't plan on doing. All the trips I took, all the campus involvement I did, I never planned on doing that because I never thought of that until I got to college. one opportunity led to another opportunity. I just kept taking advantage of different opportunities, and they kept opening more doors and more doors and more doors. And I never limited myself, whether it was in my career field, whether it was something I wanted to do or not. If it's a good opportunity, it's putting a positive value on my life and a positive career trajectory to anything that I can do, I'm going to take it. Now, if it's a negative opportunity, I'm not going to take it. I'm not even going to show an interest to it. But if it's coming from one positive opportunity to another positive opportunity, off the other positive opportunity, I'm going to keep taking it because that's just putting me in free spaces around the right people that I need to know.
So what I take from that is you were open to exposure.
Open.
Because a lot of us is uncomfortable when it comes to new territory.
And I was uncomfortable. I was definitely uncomfortable in some spaces, but I'm always a sponge. And I always know I have 2 ears and 1 mouth. I'm always listening more than I'm talking. I don't never go in a room and want to be the smartest or think I know everything. I'm trying to see who in that room, what they know, and what I can learn. Because what I can learn from somebody is more than what I'm going to give out to somebody in a new space, in their space. And I'm trying to go in and trying to be in that, a part of the opportunity. So I'm just all ears when I go in there. I'm trying to see how can I adapt in this space to become the best version of me in this space. The people in the spaces, they might be way more advanced than me at that time. So when I go in there, I'm listening so I can go in there and see, okay, I'm in a beginner space, but over time, I'm going to be thinking on a level like them if I keep surrounding myself around these individuals.
And since we're on that topic, I have this book right here called Set the Standards by Ariel Augustus. This is a book that you can get. Shout out to Ariel Augustus. PV graduate.
HBCU.
2018, HBCU. You can get this on Amazon. Just type in Set the Standards. This book is for incoming freshmen. It gives you motivation, gives you guidance, and it just helps you, get through that first semester while you exploring.
Let's do it. Go get that.
Now that we talked about how we got to college.
Right.
First experience in college.
Right.
How did we maneuver through college?
Right.
What was the exit like?
Man, to be honest, it was kind of stressful.
Okay.
And I say that because I had spent my whole 3 years of college doing everything the right way, having fun, exploring, expanding my exposure, meeting individuals all over the world, traveling, studying abroad, but I still had no job offer. And when I really realized that I didn't have a job offer, it was really like, I got this resume for what? So I know all these people for what? I got all these business cards for what? And what really woke me up was when I became a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to the Noops. My LB, Macklin Thomas, he wasn't even involved in no campus organizations.
Okay.
He went to class. He made good grades in the Army, great GPA. He come in a chat like, yeah, look at my job offer. Conoco Phillips just offered me so-and-so amount when I graduate. I didn't even know people made that much money.
Coming out of college.
I never was exposed. I thought people worked at Walmart, go home. I'm thinking people making under $20,000 a year. I didn't even know about salaries. I didn't know about none of that because I wasn't exposed to that. You know what I'm saying? My brain wasn't formulating that throughout that whole time on my college career. I'm thinking, okay, I graduate, I go get a regular job, go do something. Like, I never knew that it was real big time companies out here sending people offer letters and offering them that.
So when you read that message and you what was the name of the company?
Conoco Phillips.
And you saw Conoco Phillips, the amount. What was the first thing that came to your mind?
First of all, I said, congratulations, my boy. That's big.
Okay.
That's what I told my boy, because I was like, damn. You been doing what this whole time?
So it made you look at yourself.
Yeah, it was a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a slap in the face. It was just a hard look in the mirror. Like, I've been doing all this work, taking all these opportunities, getting all these business cards, meeting all these people. I still had no idea what I really wanted to do with myself.
Okay. So how did you make that transition? Like, how did you use that in motivation and let it secure your spot as far as the exit plan?
And I'm telling you this because you spoke on it earlier. It's because, like you said, it's freshman and sophomore going to these career services, using these career fairs, these connections, building their relationship with the people that can do something for you after college.
Yeah.
Mind you, I seen that. I never went to the career fair ever. I never went to a career services building ever until my first semester of my senior year.
We're not promoting that, y'all.
We're not promoting. This is real life. This is real life. This is real life.
We're being real with y'all.
Hey, this is real life, though. This is real life. Shout out to Miss Boyce Functional, because I'm about to touch on it. Miss Boyce Functional just got hired. We know we did the hiring committees in SGA. We hired the new the new professionals that's coming to the university. So we had a hiring committee. Miss Boyce was interviewing. It was a couple more other people. At this time, I did not know who Miss Boyce was. But she came in and she had a great interview towards us, the campus leaders. And I voted for Miss Boyce. And so happened, other student leaders did too. I didn't know they voted for her or not, but she got selected and she got hired.
Okay.
From that day forward, when I seen my boy offer letter, yeah, me and Miss Boyce is best friends.
You saw the contract senior year.
Yeah.
First semester.
Yeah, and that's when it
you got close with her
during my whole time. Like
during your whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
During that whole time. So I stayed on campus and I partnered with Miss Boyce. I was going to her office. We was talking about how can we, when was the career fair dates? How can I help promote the career fair dates? Do she need any help from me, student leaders? And I dropped a video for Miss Boyce every month where we was talking about jobs. We was talking about career fairs. I was always promoting the career fairs offices. She'd come up there and be like, hey, Nash, I need you to do a video. Let the students know this, boom, boom. Vice versa. I come in, hey, Miss Boyce, I'm looking for a job. I need a job. I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I know I need to go and make some money on it.
And that's important to point out because you wasn't just asking for a handout.
No, never do that.
You was helping her
Facts.
When you didn't know.
Facts. What I want to do.
Or what she could do for you.
Right.
Because it's, 10,000 students enrolled?
And I didn't go into the relationship think about, I'm finna use Miss Voice to do this. I went into the relationship thinking about how can I bring jobs to the student body because that was on my platform. That's what I was passionate about. And she saw that passion in me during my time as SGA president. So she made it in her heart to be like, I like his work ethic. I like how he care about people. I like how he stand on business, to sum it all up. And she made it her responsibility to put me in the best position when I graduated. So shout out to Miss Boyce because the way I got my job off, I went to career fairs. I had interviewed with several Fortune 500 companies throughout my senior cousin, Miss Boyce. But I never got a call back. I did multiple interviews with multiple companies, like stage 1, stage 2, then get a call back. So by the time my last semester came, and it was one last career fair. It wasn't even a big career fair. It was just a career fair on the third floor of the student center. And I was in a Chick-fil-A line. I had just got out of class. Luckily, I keep my resumes in my office because I was SGA president. I had my office. I had my resumes in there. So I'm in the Chick-fil-A line. I see Miss Boyce come through the glass. She's like, "Hey, Marcus, you the person I'm looking for." It was out of nowhere. I'm like, "Oh, what's up, Miss Boyce? What you got going?" She's like, "Well, you need to make sure you stop up here at this career fair on the third floor, just so the students can see your face and we can make a video up there." I was like, "Okay, yes, man. I'll be up there. Let me get my food." Got my food. I put that in my office. I ain't even eat. I went in the office. I dropped the food off, grabbed my resume, and went to the third floor.
Okay,
bro. So when I got up there, it's jobs. Not that many students because people not utilizing the resources, like you said. Utilize your resources. So they see me come up there. I'm not a tech major. I'm not aviation major. I'm not any of that. I'm a kinesiology education major. I'm thinking about being a coach, physical therapist. I go up there, my resume in hand. Mind you, my resume is stacked because of all the opportunities I had. I'm not going up there thinking I'm finna get a job or any of that thing. I'm just going up there to see who up here, who I can network with, and let's go. Get some more business cards. So I'm walking around. Miss Boyce walking with me. She introduced me to the employers as we walk around, each one of them at each table. So mind you, she going out her way to make sure I'm good, make sure, because she know these employers. She the one who brought them to campus. She walking beside me, side by side, introducing me, "Hey, this is Marcus Nash, SGA president. He's a great candidate for any position that you have." She's doing that. I'm not making her doing that. She's doing that genuinely because she see my work ethic. So we get to one table, to my current employer now, and I say, "How you doing? My name is Marcus Nash, SGA president." She's like, "Okay, nice to meet you. Let me see your resume." She look at my resume. She's like, "Okay, well, we hiring for tech. We hiring for entry level positions. I see your resume. It looks good. We'll give you a call." Mind you, I'm not thinking none of it because everybody said they're going to give you a call. So this like in February, this career fair is. March, I get a call, and it's for my current employer. She say, "We interested in bring you on, interviewing you." So mind you, I got my first interview. I got another round interview. I didn't know when the other round interview was coming. So
what's going through your mind after
during
that
that
first
time?
interview?
During that time, I'm not thinking none of it because it's my first interview, and I know it's multiple interviews after that.
Oh, different.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you weren't familiar with that,
right? So during that time, I'm still stressed out. I'm still like, damn, what the fuck am I gonna do next? Like, what's going on? I got to keep looking for more jobs. I got to keep doing this because.
So put us on a time frame. As you're going through these stages of being hired from this company, what month is it in your second semester?
My first interview was in February, so second semester just started.
Okay, so the beginning of the second semester, you leaving in May.
I'm leaving in May. Hello, I'm in May.
So you got 3 months. You did your first interview.
Boom. So February come March, I do my second interview, like mid-March. Okay. So now I'm feeling more confident, but during that time from first interview to second interview, I'm not knowing that I got a second interview. It's like no communication there. what I'm saying?
Randomly.
You
Okay.
know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's during that time frame, I'm still like looking, I'm still searching, I'm still going to career fairs, I'm still talking to Miss Boyce, I'm still dropping videos, I'm still helping my fellow classmates apply for jobs, I'm still showing them the resources that we got, I'm still doing everything, still running around, scrambling, just because I don't know what I want to do with myself. You know what I'm saying?
So it sounds like you're panicking prior to even graduating.
I'm panicking prior to graduation because I didn't see my LB have this type of salary and this type of job offer him.
He got that Ciabatta,
You know what I'm saying?
And you like, I ain't got nothing coming right now.
And I done did way more than him. Not to discredit his work ethic because he's an amazing worker. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I done did study abroad twice. I done became a Forbes under 30 scholar. I done became SGA president. I done been involved on campus. I done worked several summer programs. I done did X, Y, and Z to put me in the best position. And I didn't even know this type of job exists. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't exposed to that. So not because I didn't want to be exposed to it, just I didn't know that was out there.
The fact that your resume was superior than his, do you feel like the things you did was important?
I feel like it was important based on my personal interests. As far as it being more elite than his, technically it wasn't, because when you going for corporate 500 companies, it's based on experience. Mind you, he was already interning with that company. Now that I'm older and I see like the process of it, me being a corporate 500, it wasn't that it was more elite. It just, he was more experienced than me. He had already been interning with that company for 2 semesters. He had already been getting the experience and he had already developed the skills that they needed him to develop prior to graduating. So shout out to people that's interning. So if you watching this video, make sure you go find an internship in your career fair that you're interested in.
Yeah, and let's dissect that, because graduating seniors or just, you know, students at universities and colleges, I don't feel like they really understand the difference between interning and being involved in campus, using that as a resume builder.
Technically, it's not a resume builder. I'm gonna be quite frank. Nobody cares about the leadership position you hold on campus. They don't hold no weight on your resume. What holds weight on resume is your internships. What
your experience.
Your experience. Because you got to be hands-on when you're trying to go work for these big-time companies. They don't have time to play with you. If they finna give you X, Y, and Z, and you looking for 6-figure numbers on salary checks, you need to be knowing X, Y, and Z. We don't need no campus leadership involvement. We need internships. We need to see what your certifications look like.
But let's give them again, because me and you kind of spoke on making these involvements or these leadership roles as jobs.
Right.
So there's a way to kind of make this a position, even when it's a student assistant. You see what I'm saying? There's ways to kind of critique that resume to make it look like that was an actual job. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we for sure can do that, because you can change the leadership roles that you're in into actual potential jobs as internships if you know what you want to do and what job you're applying for. So you can critique that position that you was in and formulate it into the job that you're trying to go for.
So it's safe to say you still need a route.
Right, you still need a route.
You can't just
say anything.
You can't just say anything.
You can't just slap it on the resume and be like, this is what I did. No, it needs to correlate. You know what I'm saying?
And these are for the individuals who didn't get the opportunity to have a internship or things like that, but you was heavily involved, kind of like me.
Right. You was very involved though.
You can, yeah, but like you said, I feel like, and we'll go into, I feel like it didn't really hold any weight as far as on paper and getting me in the door. But what I did understand when actually going through corporate America, I was a way better leader than the leaders on the team. So it was like, it helped me in the long run, but it couldn't really get me in the door because I ain't had no experience. It was like, oh, dang, you ain't never had a job. But it was like, oh, you was a student assistant for the student center. You was over operations of the student center, but it was like, you ain't have a job.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
But it helped my skill sets. But from a company standpoint, looking at it, it was like, you don't have any experience doing this.
Right.
But they teach you that.
Right.
So all you need is the experience to get in the door, because they gonna teach you their way.
Right.
And they really just need leaders. So if you can develop and you can learn how to lead people, you'll be a much better person to hold that position, rather than somebody that just got experience and they giving it to them for the experience. Because most of the time, they don't have no leadership skills.
Right.
They don't have no communication skills.
Right.
So that's what I did like about, the involvement that we did do.
I definitely don't regret
Yeah.
that stage of my life. I definitely don't regret that stage of my college career. I definitely enjoyed it. I loved it. Actually, like, that's what made my college experience 10 times better versus me just going to class and going to the dorm room. Like, being involved expanded me so much. So I'm not against it. But as far as, like you said, trying to go out and post-graduation and you realizing, like, what's reality,
Yeah.
like, that's when I look back and be like, I should spend more time interning.
Gotcha. So let's jump back into that space. It's March and you did your second interview.
Right. I'm reaching out I'm sending emails, hey, what's the update? Boom, boom. Reaching out every other day. She like, yeah, we gonna do this, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, okay, but I'm just patiently waiting during that time. I'm like, dang, I still ain't got nothing. It's March. Like, late April, March rolled through. Cause I did my second interview mid-March. So I got the rest of March. Then April, like late April was when I got my offer letter. So during that time, I'm like, are they crapping around? Or like, they for real? They bring me on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, are they serious? I'm about to graduate.
You know what I'm saying? I'm about to sit. Like, what's going on? You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm reaching out like, damn.
At this point, I'm emailing y'all.
You feel me? I am. I'm double because I'm hungry for it. I'm like, man, I really want something. I ain't never been this close. You know what I'm saying? When you this close to the market, you're like, I need to close. Like, I need to do what I need to do. I need to find out what I need to do in order to ensure this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, urgency, that sense of urgency is there. So, like, I'm going to class. I'm doing my grade. I'm doing my work. I'm doing everything I need to do just on my side, taking care of my business to make sure I'm graduating. And just trying to keep my mind sane. You feel I'm steady, staying involved because the involvement helped me with my anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm in a room and I know I'm waiting on something that I'm not 100% sure about, and I'm just sitting down, it just make me start thinking more and more and more about the opportunity if I don't know if I'm gonna get it or not. So I'd rather just keep being involved and keep myself busy doing the right things or just stuff that I like doing. So therefore my mind won't be on it. Time will just keep passing. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
During that time, like I said, I'm just patiently waiting. Mind you, this is months. This is not days and weeks. And we talking about a corporate job here. It takes 6 months to get a corporate job, just letting you know. So like I said, intern and do that because the application process, the interview process, the offer letter process, that's all time within months. That's not next day. That's not next hour. That takes time. So that's why you got to start interning. That's why you got to start knowing where you're going to go. Like, really, junior year, you need to be on your career path trying to see what you're trying to do. You feel what I'm saying? So that's a message to you. That's a gem. But back to what I was saying. Got my offer letter late April. I graduated in May. You know what I'm saying? I got my offer letter, stated my start date, stated my salary I was going to make, and I was like, yes, sir, I did it. And when I seen it, I'm like, yes, sir, I did. I called Mac. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. I'm back. So like that gave me my power back. That gave me like that drive I needed to end my senior year. Like, it gave me that fulfillment I was looking for all the hard work I did throughout my college career. I did it without no internships. I did it on a different path than everybody else did it. And me internalizing that and me thinking about that, it's like, I'm blessed. If somebody was willing to take a shot on me and they got other candidates across the world. It was an HBCU program that my company was having at the time. They only hired 8 HBCU students from across the world amongst the elite Harvards, Stanfords. They only brought 8 HBCU students, and I was one of those 8.
That's big.
I was one of those 8.
That's
2
big.
people from TSU, and I think the rest of them came from Dillard.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
Dillard.
So you got your offer.
I got my offer.
You happy?
I'm happy. I sent it to my mom. I sent it to my dad. I sent it to everybody in my family. Not everybody in my family because I ain't want everybody in my business. But I sent it to my close people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that right there was like the best feeling in my life. Like, to show them, like, because neither one of my parents went to high school. No, neither one of my parents graduated high school. Neither one of them graduated college. So for them to see me go to school and come out on top,
and get off.
and I got 9 siblings, you know what I'm saying? So for my older siblings to see me just come out and do what I'm doing, it's like, damn, my little bro did it. I'm the youngest. My little bro did it. You know what I'm saying? Just to see them like, damn, I ain't never made that much money in my life. My daddy looked at me. He took me to brunch. He was like, son, he's having a baby. He's like, you officially make more money than I ever made in my life. Any job. For him to look me in my face and say that shit was different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit brought tears to my eyes. Cause like, nigga, I worked my ass off in college. Nigga, I did everything I need to do. My pops been working since he was 16. Nigga, I graduated in 4 years and I make more money than him. He been working since he was 16.
Yeah, that's...
You know what I'm saying? So
it's unbelievable.
No discredit to my pops, because my pops actually getting his bachelor's degree right now. Shout out to my pops. He was inspired by me.
Shout out to Nash.
And I don't take credit. I'm not trying to say I told my pops to do his get his graduate degree. I didn't tell him to do any of that.
Mm-hmm.
He simply seen my journey. He simply witnessed what could come out of hard work, and he simply witnessed what can come out of a collegiate career and when utilizing your resources. And he simply told me, he's like, son, you inspire me. I look at you, I look at my brother, because my Uncle Reggie, he getting his doctoral degree right now at Howard. He was a professor at TCU. He's doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? And that's my pops, younger brother. You know what I'm saying? So my pops, like, man, I see my youngest son doing it. It's like, why not do it?
Yeah.
Like, why not do it? Like, I tell you, it's never too late. It's never too late to lock in on your goals.
Never.
My pop's 50, and he getting his bachelor's right now. Shout out to him.
So it sounds like to me, you kind of went through a panic, and don't want to speak for you, so it may not have been depressing.
It was depressing.
It was
not hard depression, because like I said, it's in me. I always know something's gonna come out of something when you're searching for something good.
Okay.
Like when you're searching in the right direction, no matter how many times you fail, you only need one.
Yeah.
You only need one time to get it right.
Yeah. But it's safe to say it hit you prior to graduating. It hit you prior to graduating.
Bro, it hit me as soon as I seen my LB offer letter. Like when I seen his offer letter, it hit me in the face like,
okay. So
what am I doing?
So it started hitting you that first semester of the senior year.
And it wasn't a hit of hatred, because I supported my LB. I was like, bro, congratulations, that is big.
Yeah, it was a hit of motivation. You know
that was a hit of motivation. Like people are actually graduating with job offers. Like people graduate with Fortune 500 companies. Like that's what inspired me, because I didn't know that. I never seen that in my life. Like, I never seen that. Never. I never knew companies send you offer letters. I thought you go apply, you get hired. I didn't know what offer letter was.
Yeah, me either.
You feel me? So it's like when he drop it, he's like, yeah, they offering me this. I'm going to accept it. I got other opportunities on the table. I'm like, other opportunities?
What them look like? If this look like this, what you like?
You feel me? Like, you got, they want you? Huh?
Crazy.
What? You feel me? So I definitely say I was definitely depressed, bro. I was definitely in a mindset. I didn't show my depression because I stayed active, but it was always in the back of my mind. Everything became intentional from that day forward after I seen that offer letter. Everything I did was intentional. Like all my time I spent on campus, it was around Miss Boyce. It was around SGA. It was around my curricular.
So then you started to move with purpose.
I started to move with purpose. Okay. Everything became intentional. Like all my time was dedicated to. I didn't know if I went to go to grad school when I graduated. I didn't know what was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I started filling out job. I started filling out graduate applications. I was getting accepted. You know what I'm saying? I was boom, boom, boom. Like I had an opportunity to go to Columbia University, bro, on a full HBCU fellowship scholarship. I was recommended by the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. COVID came, and they want to move the program fully online. At the time, online classes wasn't in my curriculum. I wasn't an online student. I was in person. I'm an in-person learner. I'm a hands-on learner.
Yeah.
So I know my learning style. You know what I'm saying? I know how I'm able to excel based off my experience in high school, based on my experience that I've been going through all my semesters. I know what's better for me. You know what I'm saying? With the tutoring, I know if I'm going to be going to Ivy League University, I need to be definitely hands-on, because I'm not going to go online. The COVID had just came. It's all new to me. I didn't even get to walk the stage, bro. Like, I had graduated. They sent me my diploma. I didn't even get to walk the stage. Like, then the university president had just got fired. Like, stuff wasn't even going. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot going on. So it's like, man, I'm not going to go to Columbia because I'm not going to do an online curricular. I'm not going to do an online program for grad school. This is my first time going to grad school. I'm fresh out of college. Like, I'm definitely want to be on campus. I definitely want to go to New York. Like, I definitely want to do this. So it's like, I'm not going to do it. And COVID, we didn't know when COVID was ending. So I was like, nah, I'm going to set my job offer. Because at the time, I had got my job offer during my time of applying for grad school. You know what I'm saying? And that's when grad school went out the window. I accepted my job offer based on my circumstances with COVID. And then relocating me back to Dallas. You know what I'm saying? It was just a blessing in disguise. It was either here or there. But now I'm getting my master's, though. I'm getting my master's now, 3 years later. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's never too late.
So post-grad has been great?
Post-grad has been a blessing.
Been a blessing.
Hello.
That's good.
It's in me, not on me. How's postgrad to you? Let's talk about
we
your college. Enough of me, man. Let's talk about your experience. Let's talk about how you got to the point of being Pat Beaskey, man. How you got to the point of coming out of college, being this marketing mogul, this fitness mogul, the fitness mogul everybody want to make videos with, man. Let's talk about the boot camp legend. Shout out to the boot camp on December 9th, man. Hey, if you're not there, you missing out. You did.
Hey, Luke Belair Boot Camp and Brunch.
Hey,
And on that note, shout out to our sponsors, Luke Belair.
Hello, Ski.
Luke Belair. Go get that. We got multiple flavors. Go try your best. And go get Rick Ross, McMills, Too Good to Be True.
Yeah.
Much love to y'all, my Luke Belair brothers.
Them, man. Shout out to them.
So what did you ask?
Let's talk about becoming Pat Beaskey, man. Let's talk about your postgraduate depression, or if you had any postgraduate depression. Let's talk about your application process if you were going to grad school or if you was going into the corporate world. Let's talk about your thoughts during that time of during your senior year.
I didn't go to the career fair.
Okay.
Till my senior year.
Same here.
I didn't know what a LinkedIn was.
I definitely know what a LinkedIn was.
Damn it, I didn't have a resume. So
I didn't have a resume.
So it was.
Boyce made my resume.
Oh yeah. So I started getting proactive. As you know now, a lot of stuff that I do, I learn myself because once I'm interested in something, I don't like to wait on other people.
Right.
So I just, find another skill.
Right.
So I made a resume. Didn't really have any experience. Shout out to Miss Bennett. Miss Bennett, I love you. Mama B, you helped me tremendously.
A legend.
Without her, I probably wouldn't have made it through TSU when it came to organizations. Like her and Maxie, shout out to Maxie. Them two individuals, Maxie, man. Whatever I needed, they helped me. She gave me my job on campus where I literally really didn't even have to do nothing. It was just more so helping out a college kid.
Right.
So like I said, I didn't know what LinkedIn was. Kind of skedaddled around, made a resume. Went to my first career fair. Printed out like 20 resumes. I don't even care if I was a finance major.
Right.
So I started as an account major. Didn't want to go into that field. Everybody that was in that field didn't like it, but they made money.
Right.
And for me, I'd rather, struggle a little bit in something that I wanted to do and excel in my dreams rather than take a route that I know I didn't want to be a part of. Right. So it was like account out the window. Finance, flow of money, I can use it. It's cool. So when I went to the career fair, I'm giving my resume to everybody.
Right.
whoever hired, I'm giving my resume to everybody. I didn't hear back from nobody because I wasn't moving with no type of purpose.
Right.
Like they looking at my resume like, why is you even applying for this?
Right.
Like you a finance major, you really ain't got no experience, and I could have tweaked it and made it a little bit better. But like I said, I didn't have any type of direction. It was just more so going in there networking. Now I did network, I did meet people, but I didn't have any type of direction or purpose when it came to maneuvering through a career fair. It was just asking questions. I asked 2-3 questions, they respond, boom, here's my resume. But when they look over my resume, they probably threw it out.
Right.
It was like no experience, no nothing. I didn't really follow up with anybody. So going into graduation, I wanted to stay in Houston, but I didn't have a reason to stay in Houston.
Right.
Because it was like, I'm not about to just sit out here and just be living.
No, for real. That's what a lot of people do when they graduate.
Yeah, that was gonna be the worst mistake of my life. Staying out there, not having anything going when I can come back, because everybody can't come back.
No, for real.
I'm blessed to have parents that I could come back and kind of find my way. So definitely shout out to my parents that allowed me to graduate and come back into their household and figure out what I wanted to do.
Right.
Because that's exactly what I did. When I graduated, I left the next day back to Dallas with all my stuff. Came back to Dallas. And you asked me, did I go through post-grad depression?
Right.
Absolutely went through post-grad depression.
What was that like? Let's talk about that.
Feel like a loser. Like like I said, transitioning from
But like after all that winning you was doing, like after all that
and
success,
I think that's
all the
what
people knowing you, all the weight your name hold on campus, like out of all the campus involvement, out of all the events you did for the students, out of all the fun bus trips you done did, like all that hard work you done did, all that winning you done did, you still felt like a loser.
I felt like a loser because the type of person I am, it's all about helping individuals.
Right.
And the fact that in my transition, it was more so now focused on helping myself. I wasn't getting any fulfillment out of it. It was like, I'm going back here trying to figure things out. Yes, I had an effect on Texas Southern and everybody knows my name and respected what I did when I go back, but that's not my lifestyle anymore. It's
Right.
almost like it's almost like in high school, the coldest football player, coldest basketball player wind up messing up
Right.
in life. And then now he's at all the games trying to relive his glory days.
Right.
You know, and I didn't want to do that.
Right.
You know, when I go back to homecoming and stuff, oh yeah, I'm reliving glory day. Oh, I remember when you would. But then when I'm back home, Patrick.
Right.
You know, at school I'm Pat B.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Back at home is what are you doing? So
Right.
I needed to prioritize. So
Right.
it, like I said, in the long run it helped me, but at the time I didn't see it. So, you know, I'm going through temp agencies. I actually wind up getting a job at accounting position. Getting a job at accounting position. At the time, they offered like $23 an hour.
Mhm.
That was a lot to me. Like it was like I just graduated. That was a lot. Worked there for 3 days. Like fired me. Fired me. So the individual that was supposed to train me took another position.
Mm-hmm.
So she was exiting the company 2 days into me being there.
Wow.
My third day, I'm waiting on her. They like, oh, she exited, you know. So you kind of just gonna chill today, go through these modules. Boom, went through the modules. Go back home. Soon as I walk in the door, phone call from the temp agency. Oh, they told us that they're gonna have to let you go and they're gonna move forward with somebody with more experience.
Wow.
But y'all hired me to have a trainer.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was like little stuff like that. But it really hit, and it's funny because you remember the movie ATL?
Mm-hmm.
Story time. The movie ATL, I can't remember T.I. name in the movie, but T.I. and his little brother worked for his uncle.
Rashad.
Yeah. Worked for his uncle. And they was cleaning at nighttime, right? So my mama started a cleaning business.
Right.
We started cleaning the church in Waxahachie, right? So just picture this.
Mm.
The movie in the back of my head every time I go to this building. Like, no, seriously.
No, I don't.
I got a degree. I did everything right. I gained leadership skills. And I'm going
to clean the church.
To clean the church.
Right.
And I'm like, this can't be why I did all these things, you know? And I put my headphones on. It was a big church in Waxahachie, like a big church. And at the end, we mop. When we first started, I hoover the sanctuary. So I hoover the sanctuary, go out the sanctuary, and I walk down this long path where I'm going like this, right? And as I'm walking, I did it so much where I closed my eyes and I'm listening to Nipsey Hussle more or less. And I'm just vibing. And he like, I ain't had much, but you gotta chase your dreams. Wrote it all down in my spot in like 03. 10 years later, big shout to my whole team. And I'm like,
That's real, brother.
I gotta do more because I'm writing down my goals, but every night
You working.
I'm working, I'm hoovering, and I'm working for my mom.
Not to discredit your mom's business,
Not to discredit her
entrepreneurship.
business, but it's like I didn't go to college for this, so it's hitting me.
And it's real.
It's hitting me hard.
Right.
It's hitting me hard, bro.
I feel it, nigga.
So every time I listen to more or less, I think about where I was and where I'm at now. I can't do nothing but smile.
Cause you blessed.
Cause I'm blessed. Cause I could have still been doing that, and a lot of times
But you needed that moment though.
I needed that moment because that moment drove me to want more, you know. And it was like it also showed me that entrepreneurship is not what everybody think it is, because we were in an entrepreneurship moment. Like I'm working for my mama. She got her own business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it came with struggles. We not making a lot of money, like, and we doing something that we don't really want to do.
Right.
Especially, I didn't want to do it, but anybody, definitely as a man, sometimes you got to do things that you don't necessarily want to do, and you have to make these sacrifices to get where you want to go in life. So, you know, transition from that, things get better going through temp agencies. As you highlighted earlier, you know, shout out to Stephen Jones. You know, he gave me a position as a legal assistant after I crossed Alpha Phi Alpha, and you know that kind of put me on my feet, and that helped mold the fitness guru, because now I got money coming in. I'm able to craft and follow my passion. So I'm working out, start making videos. My girlfriend Sadie, my mom's, the gym owner at Sanders Fit, Melvin Sanders, they telling me like, why you don't just train? Like do this. Like right. you got a thing for it. But I didn't like the industry.
Right.
And I'm comfortable. So I'm like, I'm creating content. I'm doing this because I'm having fun. And for individuals that are in the fitness industry, when you look at it as a job, that's why you get tired of wanting to post and things like that. When I started, I did it because I loved it. It was easy for me to post every day, every other day, because it wasn't like a get rich quick scheme or do it for the followers. I was literally working out every day. So I'm just showing y'all what I'm doing rather than somebody setting up the camera. Damn, I got to think of something to do. Like, I was posting my actual workouts. So it was different for me. But back to the story. I was doing that. They keep putting in my ear, and my mom's been putting in my ear since I was in middle school, high school. You need to be a trainer. Like, this is what you need to do. But a lot of times we run away from our gifts and chase passions, right. Chase interests.
Right.
My gift, my purpose, what I was here to do was fitness.
Right.
But ultimately, it was to help people. Fitness was just a car.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
Was a vehicle. So once I really dove into that and gave it my all and accepted you were born to help people, and the way God wants you to help people is to be a trainer, is to help them physically, mentally, spiritually, sky was the limit. And I continue to craft that. And the page just started growing. The sponsorship started reaching out. The notoriety started coming. Even though I didn't do it for notoriety, that's what comes with it.
Right.
And since then, I've just been blessed. I'm not where I want to be, financially or just in life in general. But I appreciate the progress and the individuals that poured into me, and that's what kind of helped me get out of that post-grad depression, was to ultimately stop showing pity for myself and do something about it. And I think when we get into, not every situation, but when we get into the post-grad depression, we never look at what we're not doing. We always look at what's not being done.
Right.
And what's not being done is, I'm not getting the job I want. They not calling me back. But what we're not doing is getting experience from a level 1 job to get that level 2 job.
Right.
Updating their resume, reaching out to these people, going to the career fair when you're in college. So it's like, you can go through post-grad depression, but there are things that you can do to help prevent it if you take advantage of the tools that are, given to you at that moment.
Right. And I want to touch on something you just spoke about because it's really important. Like you said, people don't like to take that level 1 job to get to that level 2 job.
Absolutely.
And that's because that goes in a lot of steps in life, because when you start a fitness business, your mom started her cleaning service business.
Yeah.
And that goes for anybody that is starting a business or anything in life. You always see the end goal. You always see what you want to become. You always see that big business that's doing it, that inspires you to do that. So that's what you envision your business being like. But in reality, it's not going to start like that. It requires work. It requires sacrifice. It requires that stage 1. It requires that stage 2. It requires that stage 3. And those stages are all development stages to get to that end goal.
Yeah.
And that is the development stage that you don't see when you envision your goal. So when some people hit that stage 1, they can't overcome that obstacle because that's not the reality that they envisioned from the beginning. They didn't know how hard it was. They didn't know how hard that work really is. And that goes to show, like, when your mom started her cleaning business, you said it's struggles in entrepreneurship. I'm an entrepreneur, so I know it struggles.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't know what it's like, because when I started my clothing business, I thought I'm finna be the next big designer. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, it's stages to that.
It's stages.
Gucci didn't just become Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Louis didn't just become Louis. Like
YSL didn't just become YSL.
It's
don't happen
stages
like that.
to this. You know what I'm saying? It's big stages to this, and it's the stages you can't skip. You can't skip the work, because if you don't put it in, who gonna do it for you? And how is you gonna grow? How are you gonna grow as an individual or as a business if you're not putting the work in? It doesn't add up.
Absolutely.
It doesn't add up.
Absolutely.
So you got to be willing to take those level 1, those level 2, those level 3. You got to take those and embrace those stages, because it's all learning stages. It's all gaining experience. So when you do get to that level you want to go to, you know how to survive. You know how to think at that level that you're trying to think at, because you have already experienced the lows of the lows and you get to the highs of the highs. That's how you able to formulate that level of success. Because like Pastor T.D. Jakes said, I won't give a 6-year-old a car. And then when he get 18, if I give an 18-year-old a car and a 6-year-old car, they won't appreciate the car the same.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because you give a 6-year-old a car, it's just a car to him. He don't know how to drive. He don't know how to utilize that vehicle.
He don't even understand.
Right, he don't understand it.
Yeah.
He gave it to him too early. He gave him that blessing too early. Versus you give somebody with a driver license that's 18-year-old that car, that know what to do with that vehicle, know how to drive, know how to navigate the roads, know how to stop, know how to park. You know what I'm saying? It's different stages. You can't skip those stages.
Just when it comes to life, just think of it like both our experience in baseball terms, taking that chance is walking up to the base, right? Taking that risk is swinging, knowing that you can strike out. But if you do hit that ball, you're on stage 1. That's base 1. The work don't stop though. Got 3 other bases.
I definitely agree with that 100%.
So you have to continue to run. Base 2, stage 2. Base 3, stage 3. Base 4, when you signed your contract.
Right.
But as we know in this game, you always got to come back up to that bat. So never get satisfied. Continue to work. Continue to press forward. And when the opportunity presents itself, you'll be ready for that chance and to take that risk.
I just got a question, like, so when you get to a certain point, like, say you've been working towards a goal for 4 years, right? You get to that point and now you accomplish that goal. And you in that position and you doing everything you want to do. What's next? Like, that stagnant feeling you feel, even though you're successful, even though you got everything you worked your ass off to get, what's next? Because people tend to stop growing in that point.
Mhm.
They stop looking for exposure. They become comfortable.
So in fitness terms, we call that a plateau,
Right.
which is continuing to do the same
Thing.
workout regimen,
Right.
and you just reach a plateau where you're not growing no more. You feel like you're just stuck.
Right.
In life, I think what I always suggest or advise people to do is to keep a goal in front of you at all times. Keep a goal in front of you. That way you will continue to run your passion. You will stay fueled. You will stay energetic. But once you just have a end goal and you hit that, it's like your life is fulfilled and you content. But when you keep a goal in front of you, you always got motivation to keep going.
And I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. So like when I got my offer letter, I started working.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working for 3 years. Like I said, I didn't go get my master's at the time, but the reason why I did want to get my master's is because I had got to a point to where I wanted to be within my goals, and I became stagnant in my reality.
Mm-hmm.
I was comfortable. I drive what I want to drive. I live where I want to live. I have become comfortable,
And you can do
but
what
I
you
feel
wanna
like my life wasn't progressing as far as my exposure to being a better leader, to being a better individual. So that's what inspired me to go back and get my master's degree. I just go get a master's because that was something to do. I did it to make me a better person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To gain more knowledge.
Yeah.
To excel me in corporate world and in real life. Because during my master's program, I got an opportunity to study abroad again. You know what I'm saying? I got opportunity to meet other individuals that's actually in their careers and they're holding big time positions. So I'm networking amongst my peers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the perfect time for me because I'm actually in a career.
Yeah.
And it's versus me going right out of college into my master's program. I actually have developed corporate skills. So when I'm talking to my peers, they understand what I'm saying. I understand what they saying. And possibly, who knows what can come out that conversation. You know what I'm saying? But it's something I can relate to. And I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like I made the right decision not going to get my master's straight out of college. Not taking credit from anybody that does go get their master's straight out of college, but weigh your options. You know
And you had a reason. What I've noticed with peers and other people that I see is they're not ready to be done with college.
Right.
Or they don't have a goal, so they get their master's to give them an extra 2 years to figure things out.
Right.
And you just putting yourself into more debt, and you don't even know what you want to get your master's in. So when it's something like that, I don't frown upon going to go get your master's to give you more time, but at least move with purpose. Get your master's in something that you're going to use, a field that you want to be in. Like have some type of direction when it comes to that, because once again, if you ain't get no scholarship, you're gonna be in more debt. You're gonna graduate still without a job, and you're gonna be back at square one when you could have jumped into the career field at level 1, got experience, and applied for a company or for a job that you actually wanted to be a part of, rather than, like you said, hey, I'm just gonna go get a master, just get a master. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
That's another thing that causes depression, because we got to go to that financial aid counseling before you graduate, and they say they finna take that money out your check. And imagine if I don't make the money, and I'm making little checks, and I'm already trying to live the life I'm trying to live, and then they taking financial aid out of my checks for the student loans. That's depression. You know what I'm saying? That's depression. So I'm taking out loans. And that's another thing why I didn't. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff that factor into me making a decision to take a job, because for one, I want to pay my student loans off, which I did. But that was all into that calculated decision. Because, I'm not on a scholarship. I'm taking out loans. I'm putting myself
I
into
wasn't on no
debt. So it's
scholarship
like,
either.
what's up? What's really good? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to keep wasting time. Like
My senior year, I had to take out a Sally Mae loan, or I couldn't go back my second semester.
And that's the real life decisions people got to live with. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of decisions that make you want to go out and really do something with yourself, because at the end of the day, you betting on yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's all this really is. You betting on yourself. You going to college to see what college can do for you. And some people leave with a good outcome. Some people leave with that harsh reality. I'm going back to my mama crib. I don't know what I want to do. And I got to figure it out. I'm going to get my master's. I'm going to put myself in some more debt. And they got to figure it out.
You got to wait on your time. I had to clean churches. Like, I had to get fired in 3 days. I had to go through temp agencies and do jobs that I didn't want to do, because that fueled me to make sure I never have to go do that again. Because if I never went through that, I could be going through that now. Because I wouldn't have that passion. I wouldn't have that motivation because I didn't experience that.
Just imagine yourself on the highway, right? You see somebody speeding and you go on the speed limit. They moving faster than you. But in reality, they're not. They just late. They late to their destination. In reality, you own your right pace. You go on the speed limit.
And you in your
just
right
stay
lane.
focused. You in your own lane. Stay focused on your own goal. Don't get distracted about who beside you, who going faster than you.
Tunnel vision. Tunnel vision, man. Tunnel vision.
You feel me?
Great Jay-Z.
You did.
A loss ain't a loss. It's a lesson.
It's a lesson.
Appreciate the pain. It's a blessing. And I want to ask you before we close this out, do you feel like your voice found its space?
I definitely did.
You did?
I did.
Me too.
This is a very vulnerable moment. Like,
absolutely.
You never know how vulnerable the conversation gets until you start speaking from what's inside of you. You never know how, like, words can turn emotions inside of you. You never know how you felt about a situation until you start elaborating.
And opening up those chambers.
Right.
And opening up those chambers.
So I just definitely want to say, man, I'm proud of you, Pat B, bro. I'm definitely proud of you. I love you, man. And I'm definitely proud of everything that you have became and everything that you're going to become in the future, because you changing the game. And a lot of people won't tell you that, but, bro, you changing the game.
Yeah.
And a lot of people not going to give you your flowers because it's a sore spot. Ain't that what Drake said? But look, I'm going to be honest. You changing the game, man. And
bro, you funny.
Hey, they ain't gonna give it to you because it's a sore spot. You don't want to talk about it because they can't do it.
They don't want you to win.
They don't want you to win.
Khaled, we the best. You smell me? But I love you, dog. I give you flowers too, bro. I love the transition that you've made, the man that you've become. I remember seeing you on that campus, the illustrious Texas Southern University. We both was two totally different individuals.
Nah, for real.
And the progress that we made is only a slight glimpse of what we will become.
Nah, for real. See, it's already in us. It ain't even scripted. It's coming off the brain. We saying the
coming
same
off
thing.
The top, no drop.
Man,
you smell me.
You smell me.
But once again, thank you all for listening. This is Consciously Speaking, where every voice finds its space. I'm Pat B.
M. Nashki.
And we'll see y'all soon.
Let's do it.